afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane. Master Propaganda Hero of Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to 1 vs 1 on Rechnaya Pereprava. In the west, it is Deimos fighting for the Oberkommand West of Germany, Deutschland, the 9th Panzer Division West, and East. It is WTF, we'll just call him WTF, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role here of the 2nd Division, backed up by the 82nd Airborne. We got here Overwatch, Elite Armored and Fortifications for Deimos with Jaeger, Kubelwagen Infantry Bulletins. Double focus can start there for Deimos. WTF, William the Frankie, goes here for Pathfinders on top of his Rifleman, heading eastwards there. So we can see Deimos is also going eastwards, Sturmpanzer heading westwards. Is he using the Volksgrenadier to try to disrupt his opponent while the Sturmpanzer just kept territory? That all feels a bit weird to me, but either way, here we are. First shots fired. Volksgrenadiers open up behind some trees on the Rechnaya as they try to cross into safety. Rechnaya quickly getting out of there, so Volksgrenadiers pull closer. We got more troops moving in, but again, they're leading very slowly. And again, interesting enough, he's sending the Rechnaya first, not using them to cap. Sort of there, instead has the sort of combat infantry, more frontline oriented infantry, sort of just backing up there. So that's a bit of an interesting sort of set of events there going for both players. More Volksgrenadiers there, right for Deimos, moving westwards there as well. It's a bit of skirmishing here further going on in the east. Pathfinders moving in. Deimos Volksgrenadiers will probably hit a block soon, as they'll soon be focused down. There you go. Rifle moving up here slowly. More Volksgrenadiers on the way there for Deimos. Standard Oberkommando start here. Volksgrenadiers moving towards the centre here of Northwest. Sturmpanzer using the victory point there for Germany. Deutschland, das Vaterland. Second rifle's got on the way there for WTF. Welsh Tango Foxtrot. We'll have a CV text up soon. I imagine it'll be. Could be Lieutenant though, could be Captain. Could be any of the two. More territory being seized here by Deimos. He could actually threaten his opponent's carve point there, making things a bit more awkward here for WTF. Troops falling a bit back there, taking some light fire. Bit of skirmishing there. Volksgrenadiers moving in here, rather being finally focused down here with 2 squads. That's not going to be good there for WTF. Sturmpanzer going to hit the carve point there. Nope, a bit of barbed wire there from WTF to make it a bit harder to sort of just quickly rush into the point. Slightly exposing more fire here. Sturmpanzers probably should try and get closer to the rifle sooner before trying to engage at longer ranges, since Sturmpanzers assault rifles have a notable drop in DPS compared with, say, other assault rifles that the Panzer are going to do. So that's a bit important to keep in mind. And he done that soon. I think the Sturmpanzer had a better chance. Instead, they ended up taking quite heavy casualties. Still did a lot of damage once they closed in, but again, I feel like he suffered unnecessary damage that could have been avoided, and then failed to cut off the point. That could have also drawn WTF here away from the house here in the other positions. Maybe drawn him into some better fire there for Deimos. Oh wait, bit of a skirmishing here. Pathfinders holding up. They should be able to sort of deal with things here. Oh, incendiary grenade off, of course, signaling to WTF here that Deimos has a truck out. Well, obviously what it goes for, though, I would say with this early of a truck, it could be Belgrave headquarters plus. Well, I would say a lot of Volksgrenadiers, but you know, a lot of players nowadays will go for a lot of Volksgrenadiers. Then it's just, you know, that. But of course, since he doesn't have spare cops, he's definitely not going to go for Command Panther Storm. In fact, doesn't have anything with a late game armored call-in. Well, this elite armor with a Sturm Tiger, but I wouldn't quite call that late game armored call-in personally. Captain on the way there for WTF. Volksgrenadiers ramping, they're going to have to fall back soon. They're not exactly in a good condition there. Seizing the southern fuel point away there from the Americans. The Amerikaner. Right, moving in here against the Volksgrenadiers, who need to be a bit careful here, as they're quickly going to get focused down here by WTF's men. More Volksgrenadiers moving in. He might want to consider incendiary grenade some here, but then again, I think if retreat's just going to be better, to be honest, now for Deimos. Not the best engagement. Truck still turning about. Could be Belgrave headquarters, could be mechanized. The longer he waits, the more likely it does seem to be mechanized. It's either that or he just lost track of things, which can happen, of course, during the heat of battle. And there we go, it is mechanized. So, in the end, no major surprises. Admittedly, a Belgrave headquarters is not going to be a major surprise, but you know, it would be less common. Camping out for WTF. Wailing the French. Ambulance on the way there for them. Bit of skirmishing here, capping up with a BARs while increasing firepower versus Deimos' infantry. Nice, easy upgrade. Troops are reinforcing. Mechanized Regular almost done there for Deimos. He may, of course, want the steel empires to lead out some medical supplies. WTF, they seem to be slowly beginning to consider threatening his opponent's fuel supply, which would be a really good idea there for WTF. Of course, ensures that Deimos can't easily just hit him with a lot of vehicles and armor. But let's see what Deimos ends up going for, though. All three doctrines in one way or the other sort of being viable choices. Ambulance up there as well. Good to provide medical supplies there for Deimos' infantry. Troops heading out there. Mechanized Regiment headquarters remaining rather silent. Heading northwards to the rear echelons. Closing in on Veterans U1 very steadily. Pathfinder's being pursued, securing troops points in the centre. Well, he can go for the looks in a few moments. Begin pressuring WTF there with that. Mines being laid down the road. Very good spot there. Die Schuhmine, also known as die Schützenmine. Because if you hit that one, you definitely didn't need shoes anymore, since it's like to blow off your foot. Which was rather the intent, by the way. The Schuhmine here was not, the Schuhmine 42 was not designed to kill, it was designed to maim. Because maiming someone actually draws in more resources and causes great psychological discomfort for the enemy than just killing them. So a little fun fact there. Looks in the way there for Deimos. Grabbing the northern victory point there back from the armies. Jumpers have to fall back since again, in any sort of range engagement, they will lose to riflemen since they can't respond to that level of firepower. They got troops pushing through here. WTF pushing back his crap opponent, and 50 cals being dropped in there. Looks slowly approaching there. Medical supplies there being consumed by Deimos' infantry. Student parts coming in as soon as they bait in. The problem at this point already, they're taking too much damage and can't really do much here against two rifle squads anyways. He kind of needs a bit more infantry there to pull through. Looks almost down there to take a pull out for WTF. He's obviously expecting a looks, and at this point he might even just seen it here. Yeah, he's seen it. He knows it's theirs. I mean, at this point, obviously, he's under absolutely no illusion as to what his opponent's going to go for. If he had, had sort of maybe a small, inkling of doubt there, that's gone. Looks heading out there though for Deimos and for the 9th Panzer Division. Phosphorus rifleman here, cruising through the small stream. Rifleman under heavy fire from the looks and routed by autocannon fire. 50 coming Southwards will probably help defend the area here from any Nazi attacks there from Deimos. Getting into the house here though at this range, he's going to get pelted by incendiary grenades if Deimos had the munitions for it, which he has in a few moments. There we go. Still, at this range, he's going to have taken a lot of damage out of the 50 calibers. In this case, the looks is going to prove to be much more helpful in routing the 50 caliber. And a tank moving in there. Deimos, of course, expecting. I mean, he's seen the captain, so he knows anti-tank is very much a possibility. So Deimos would like to basically just blatantly charge in the looks there, since he could quickly lose it to the anti-tank gun. Seizing the southern fuel point, southern victory point. Bit of harassment up north as well, but interesting enough again, WTF reacts immediately here to Deimos' main push. Doesn't try to outmaneuver it. To an extent, it's understandable why, but I would say he might also do something to do some more to his opponent. Nope, by the way, weapon picks up, and we got bazookas there for WTF's rear echelons. Increasing his chance there, of course, dealing with the looks, but also any other vehicles Deimos might add in. Deimos adding in a machine gun, very good. Here looks at taking heavy fire there from the anti-tank gun, immediately destroying it. Highlighting just the sheer firepower being one anti-tank gun, which shoots faster than other anti-tank guns by a notable amount. Quickly shattering Deimos' light tank. And he really didn't do a lot with it, so it's actually a pretty big loss for this. I mean, it's a lot of manpower and actually quite a bunch of fuel there in the early game. That was just lit on fire. Paratroopers being summoned in here by WTF and the Americans. Very good, very good. Up north here, full in points here. Back here, troops reinforcing. Should also be healing. Let's see what further happens there for Deimos. Steering Ponies being routed here by the 50 caliber, the Madus. Paratroopers there landing in. We'll have to see what he goes for. I mean, he could easily go for paratroopers with submachine guns, or he could just upgrade them into the light machine guns. Both, I think, would be viable choices here for WTF, though, of course, for varying reasons. troops that are being suppressed by the MG34. I mean, personally, I would prefer the Thompsons, and he does go for the Thompsons. Again, my personal favourite choice, because I do like Tactical Assault, which again, like Tactical Advance, I think is a really, really solid ability. If you know how to use this, it can just allow you to do some heavy damage in a short amount of time, which can actually allow you to sort of just completely just shred infantry, or just clearly out a support weapon if you pull off a good flank. Folks charging ahead here, need to be careful not to get too close. The grenade, but also the Thompsons could be rather hazardous there to Deimos' infantry's further well-being. There we go, we got a few assault rifles up the stronger still, we've got our troops out in the open. Tom's about to get ready there. He's trying to split up his men, I think, to avoid getting hit with a pineapple grenade, though he's a bit slow in that department. Thompson's ready, and there you go, hosting down those Nazis, but there you go. Deimos around the table here with the incendiary grenade. Paratroopers going to have to retreat, because it would be really damn lost right now for WTF to lose the paratroopers with an upgrade like that. Still, they were certainly quite effective there. Could have tried with the grenade, but I guess it figured like his opponent would just dodge and it would just be a waste of munitions. Of course, now he's got the Thompsons ready, they're going to be much more menacing to Deimos. And if he can pull off a good move with them, again, he can cause some heavy damage to Deimos as Fult's going to do this. Anyways, back here, troops are reinforcing. Thompsons there, of course, ready. 4 of them. Last 2 just stick with carbines. Folks there being routed. Sturm Pioneers moving in. Got the 5th Cav there backing up the Pathfinders. There you go, quick suppress them. Nice work. Folks are sending out here, and we got a 2nd truck out. That's going to be Scrap Hunter, of course. The Deimos as well. We've gone for Overwatch. Could have them up for Jaegers. There's obviously also howitzers. And for the Fatherland, if it comes down to it, though, so far I've yet to see anyone actually had a good chance to use it. It's a pretty tricky ability to use in that sense. Push back there. WTF here might soon want to consider, taking up for his own armour before Deimos, begins stomping him down with panzers. I'm surprised Deimos hasn't tried to do more around the calf point here. I mean, in many cases, WTF's left flank is deeply exposed, and again, just more consistent harassment around the calf point there could be quite effective here versus WTF, but there you go. Paratroopers having a go at it. And there you go, and got tactical assault. A bit too slow there, bit too slow. Whoa. Wow, I have never seen that before. A cooldown on a passive ability. And not only that, just look at the colours. That was actually just wow. W-O-W, wow. Whiskey, Oscar, whiskey. That was practically psychedelic. Packard's on the way there for WTF. His mind, I'm sure, scorched by bazooka experts having a cooldown. Sandbagging up there. Got the 5th guy being hauled back for some healing enforcement. Front was actually a bit exposed. So Deimos, of course, was well. That could maybe make a push. Also got a float to the squad wipe. Maybe the paratroopers with the bazooka experts cooldown managed it anyways. Just melting the brains of the Germans as they're exposed to something they were never meant to see. My god, passive ability. It has a cooldown. Mein Kopf. It explodes. Folks moving up, engaging riflemen. Jaegers moving up, adding the marksman G43. Riflemen moving in, backed up by the captain and the re-echelons. Folks they're holding up, rather bunched up in fact. Fortunately for them, WTF here, besides the paratroopers, has no access to grenades. Major out there, so you can begin pushing for tanks. Bit of troops moving about here. Probably going to harass some of the back points here. 5th guy running up here as well. Machine gun is backing up here. Something approaching our flank going on in the south. Good, good. Up north, there's Sturm Pioneers. Taking some fire from some source. And there you go. Scrap Hunter's quarters revealed here to WTF. I mean, obviously there's no big secret that there was one somewhere, but now he knows where it is. Paratroopers there closing in eventually too. Back here, troops are reinforcing. Cannot from there for Deimos, and you're trying to deal with the advancing infantry, but sadly they can't quite lay down their firepower. And of course, got the Packard joining in. Up north, jump pads being handed back here by a bunch of men coming in there from WTF. And like Kermit for out, flares exploding into the air. Like they don't quite care. Pathfinder's anything about. Troops running out. Rifle engaging here. The Fultoners assaulting them from both sides. Still no grenades there for WTF. They probably wants to sell any fuel he can now for the tanks. Deimos keeps attacking more or less from the same angle. Like he never tries to like outmaneuver his opponent, pull off an attack from another sort of angle. Whereas WTF is starting to realise he needs to push more through here. But compared to again, Deimos always attacks through here. I mean, he might do some more flanks, but then they originate from around here. Can't help but feel in this regard, Deimos might have fallen into a bit of a set pattern that makes it much easier to defend against, you know, from WTF sides. I mean, usually one of the biggest things you always want to avoid is becoming too predictable for your opponent because it makes it much easier for them, you know, to deal with you. Another pack out there for WTF. Grayson sees in the fuel pond up. Then again, most of Deimos' forces being focused here cannot respond to this at all. So in this regard, WTF is punishing Deimos there nicely. Troops are reinforcing. Pack out number 2, they're halfway done. I mean, it could at least the council just go for tanks, but I guess you feel like isn't worth it. Deimos isn't fired off from the Panzer IV. Light responsive with some Fultoners not even upgrade against the rest of the bazookas. I mean, they're not going to be much reflective of the Fultoners, so I mean, it is an appropriate response. Scrap Punch are taking damage. Pioneers taking heavy casualty from the pack house. Of course, double pack house. You can do a lot of damage to it in the longer run. Panzer on the way there for Deimos and the 9th Panzer Division. Troops are only forcing in once more. He just keeps poking at the same approach. He seems really reluctant to just try any other approach here against WTF. Really reluctant. Photo there was the paratroopers. Quick incendiary grenade. Catching the Yankees. And a bit of nasty fire. That's almost done there for Deimos. I mean, he were to launch an assault through here with some infantry in the tank, he could probably, I think, disrupt WTF a bit, though. In that regard, he might actually want the line to go first to lay down a smoke screen. Oh, wait, though, Panzer IV there for Deimos and the 9th Panzer is short. WTF and the 2nd Infantry continues to hold up against the Germans, the Nazis. Creating against the Pathfinders. Panzer IV, they're catching the captain of Pereprava spot, routing him with some nicely placed high explosive shells. Paul Johnson goes down. In fact, that was Captain Johnson. Not any Johnson, but Captain Johnson. Of the Pittsburgh Johnsons. Followed them round by the 5th Calvers. Routed, and back here we got troops reinforcing. Sharp Hunter Corps being slowly repaired here by Deimos' Sturmpunier, Panzer IV following back as well. And right now WTF has a very strong combined arms suite. He's got artillery, he's got machine guns, he's got anti-tank guns, of course, a plethora of infantry. Deimos has a bit of anti-tank and some machine gun infantry and a tank, but on the end he does lack artillery, which is actually a bit of a crucial element in the combined arms triangle, or square, quadrahedron, I don't know. You get the idea. Artillery, at least a bit of it, is always good. I wouldn't recommend the Stukas verse unless you're really good with it. I'd usually recommend the light infantry gun in most cases. Of course, he does have Overwatch, he can go for the Howitzer, and that can of course also work out if he knows how to aim it. Jackson halfway down there for WTF. Wishing through fog. House collapsed further. No orbs on there being considered for Deimos, but again, nope. still the sort of same attack pattern there to an extent. Whereas WTF again is, putting more and more pressure on the left flank, as again he realises he's sort of got a rough idea how many forces he can afford to expend here to defend against most of Deimos' attacks, allowing just to exert more pressure against Deimos. Deimos again needs to change up his attack pattern here because he's making it pretty easy there for WTF and his LSD paratroopers. And of course his pack howitzers. You don't want to make it easy for American to turn. There you go, folks. We're out here by 2 hits from the pack howitzers, highlighting just how dangerous they are. So that was not good there for Deimos, who's beginning to fall short then infantry compared with WTF. Sturm Pioneers almost wiped out as well. The situation for Deimos and the 9th Panzer is showing signs to look a bit ugly. And not just any kind of ugly. So yeah, Shroud Panzer goes about to go down. That's going to prevent Deimos from getting out any more armor. He might have to go for a King Tiger then. Panzer shoots, misses, takes it definitely into tank gun. Apparently, WTF was not expecting. He's just back there for some healing. Allied Panzer being forced back easily. Jack's coming from the other side. That could leave Deimos in a really bad spot if he loses it here. And a worse one than he already is in. I think he might still try and repair the Shroud Panzer corps. I think at this rate, he's going to need 2 Sturm Pioneer squads to actually effectuate them at any decent pace. Nope. Oh, apparently considered the howitzer briefly, but decided against it. He also needs to place the howitzer carefully so they don't become easy target for the pack howitzers, because that's really going to be rubbish for Deimos if they take that out. Folks, they're again trying to take through here. Again, same more or less pattern there, same plan. WTF so far still has it more or less nailed down. Quick grenade. We got orbs done for Deimos. I like that. I like that. $276 versus 365. Panfall being pulled back for repairs. So only thinks for repairing only 1 Sturm Pioneer squad to do it. He might actually also want to consider some repair pioneers. Would also be helpful once he gets out the King Tiger, if he has to go for that with just more armor. But there you go again, pack cards just beginning to pummel away at the Shroud Panzer quarters. And honestly, you might want to initially just place it further away there so it didn't become an easy target for enemy artillery. And now the Jackson's joining in. So yeah, that Shroud Panzer quarters is not going to make it back home to Berlin. Not really what's going to make it, I guess, but you know. You get the idea. It's not going to see the end of this episode. It's like that kid that goes down into the basement in a horror movie. You know, it's not. It's dead. Obviously, now being charged with rifle. Got a Cabal's lightning attempt to be quick to hold it. Oh, still gets it off though. Apparently, that was a bit weird. I didn't see the timer. I'm guessing now they did WTF, but then again he wasn't heavy cover, so he only took half damage. WTF following with the Scots, increasing his artillery, actually putting out 3 artillery pieces, 2 pack cards on the Scot. That's going to be quite a problem there for Deimos' infantry. The Shroud Panzer quarters though stand still. He's going to need another Panther before they want to do anything with it. I mean, he could try and go for the Panther, but I mean, if WTF continues to exert his intentions at it, it's not going to get that far. Basil wants a bit of attention, the silly cat. Need to be careful with those Jaegers, they're already low on health, and WTF has a lot of pack howitzers. He has a lot of artillery. Yeah, those Jaegers have to retreat. The ramp are going to quickly sort of clear them out if they don't get out of there fast. Shroud Panzer quarters barely standing. There's also the chance that Deimos is just not entirely sure he wants to try and build something from it. He's just going to accept at some point it's going to go down. So that's what it ends up with there for Deimos and WTF, and that's Shroud Panzer quarters. But there you go. Scott is also joining in with that. The Shroud Panzer quarters finally gives up the ghost. It has suffered much abuse at the hands of WTF. Obviously they're about to get murdered as well there. If Deimos is too slow, and even then he might be too slow now already. Folks on the south, things hit here as well with the paratroopers. Quick grenade off. And instead we now got the howitzer. Like the Feldhaubitz. I'm not entirely sure I'm a fan of this positioning, since again it puts him within reasonable range of the pack howitzer. Like the thing is, the howitzer has really good range. I mean, it can shoot beyond this, as you might have noticed. I don't know if much farther it can shoot in, but you know, it can shoot further than that. So you could easily place, you know, at this end of the map. Whereas again, this is gonna be, you know, not far beyond the range of the pack howitzer. They just need to creep it further ahead. And again, he's got 3 artillery pieces versus 1 pack or 1 howitzer. I mean, can't help but feel here that Deimos might be pushing his luck just a bit. Truck number 3 there on the way, like going to be the Battle Group headquarters. Jaeger's moving in here as the Pathfinders. I've no focus on going for the victory point. Got a 5th cover there that he needs to deal with. Howitzer is almost done here. And before they're taking hits from the Jackson, not in a good position there to sort of fight back against it. Great hit here. Orbs on there. Got the machine gun. Pretty good work there for Deimos. Very good work. Fulcher's moving up a bit further here. And there goes Scott. John's in against the orbital down, who need to retreat soon. Then, as soon as they come under attention of the American artillery, life expectancy goes down dramatically. There you go. Howitzer firing away. Great hit there on the pack anti-tank gun, it seems. Almost got it, but again, as you might notice here, WTF is not worried about it at all. He's just creeping up his pack howitzer to begin bombarding the howitzer. And in this regard, we sort of see Deimos see a, you know, great mistake. He might have figured that his opponent would be intimidated by the howitzer, but he's got more artillery pieces. So there's a guy. Deimos didn't really, you know, make the best move there. He's getting some kills in and some damage with him. He's got all the veterans one, but as you might notice there, it didn't take long for the pack howitzer to someone land a lock shot and annihilate it. Almost got the Scott there. And with the anti-tank gun, of course, there's less threats to the Panzer Force. It might still worked out a bit there for Deimos, but even then, you know. Still, he's making at least some progress once he versus WTF, who's forced to give a bit of ground here to the Germans. There you go, Battle Group headquarters up, meaning again, Deimos' next move is likely going to be the King Tiger, the Königstiger. And Basil is now positioning himself in the box next to my screen. Well, basically to shoe box top. But he seems to like it anyways. Pads ring in there. Will they go for tactical advance? Will they once more? There we go. They pop it. They pop it. The Battle LSD. I just can't get myself. How did that even happen? Just look at how brightly dark orange it is. It's as though something that was never meant to be. We have breached another dimension. One where we don't need eyes. Obviously, you're not supposed to look at it. Panzer IV moving about there, close to it soon. Noting he has an upgrade with the Pinelman machine guns. I'm guessing he's all trying to set up here for a sector assault, to that way try and devastate WTF. Whiskey, Trotter, French fries. Ooh, Jaeger there wiped out, not good there for Deimos. Another infantry loss, he can't afford. Howitzer back at it again, though. Also likely going to be the focus of all of WTF's artillery. And Pat Raketnev immediately taking fire as well. They're not good, not good. Paratroops moving in. Machine gun opening up. We got a sector assault in. Can this be it here for Deimos? Will this be the moment where he breaks WTF? Like a crooked set of chairs. Scott there, shattered by the Luftwaffe as the Kanonenvogel tear through it. Troops continue to charge from the machine gun, not sufficient for. Got the Panzer IV moving in though, artillery firing in there as well. Not really hitting anything though. The 5th Cavalry was taken out, but the troops have been routed already, and Deimos does enough infantry to back up. The Panzer IV's going to have to fall back here. In the end, the assault quickly petered out. Like the Italian war effort in World War II. And any other theatres. Troops are healing and forcing. Managed to get to the southern fuel point, but again, there's so much artillery, the machine gun is quickly going to get drowned beneath it and just annihilate it. Howitzer's almost good to go here for Deimos. Again. WTF with a science of fire this time around. More attempt to breach through into north here by WTF. You got Deimos laying down fresh mines. King Tiger slowly approaching for Deimos versus WTF. White Trick Frogs. Captain there routed with the Stone Pioneers. I'm not entirely sure it's home to hit here with the howitzer, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. I might be wrong here though, but a decent hit on the Jackson, I guess. Not doing a lot of damage, but I suppose might be scaring WTF just a bit. Oh, major taken out. Not a major win though for the howitzer, but I guess it's better than nothing at all. Machine staying up the next cover, not good, not good. Still some time to go there for the King Tiger, roughly 2 to 3 minutes here for Deimos. Pereprava there, almost taken up, but the opposite side of the full scale of the 50 cover there, of course, proving to be an excellent support platform there for WTF's infantry. More to the fire there, raining down, not really doing a lot there. And there you go, destroyed by the pack cows. In the end again, I feel like he's underestimating them a bit. Just a bit. And WTF is just showing how powerful the pack houses are. Steel Punish right here by the captain. Opens on straight to the 5th cover there, being routed steadily. Mechanized regiment next. Flak emplacement was being destroyed as well here. The situation by the riverside here is collapsing for Deimos fast. Faster than a house of cards beneath a steamroller. Time to win the sniper at the pack out. We've still got the Jackson, we got the bazooka team still quickly flaying him to do a lot of damage to the Panther 4. But can never alternates get out before they get swiped. And in fact, it's likely going to get wiped here because Deimos is still sticking about there. And of course, he forgets about the artillery. So quite a blow there to Deimos. His Shrap Hunter quarters, his mechanized remnant's gone. He's down to just the Battlefield headquarters. He's not far off from the King Tiger, but his forces are taking a beating in combined arms wise. He is not quite on the same level as the WTF again, who really is enjoying the strength of the pack houses. Will prove to be an absolute menace here to Deimos. And for interesting enough reasons, he never tried using the howitzer, it seems, to destroy them, which I kind of would have figured would be his main priority, taking out the enemy first before dealing with everything else. But for whatever reasons, he decided they weren't the priority, which is just felt a bit weird there. Fortunately, they're being routed by the riflemen. Heading for the northern victory point with the orbital died and closing in a bit free there. Very good. Jackson almost done there for WTF. That's going to, of course, put him at double Jacksons. Plus the anti-tanks, going to be difficult there for the King Tiger to just easily break through. Particularly without artillery support to deal with the anti-tank gun. Of course, it's not going to be impossible, but it just means Deimos is going to be in for a hell of a challenge. Fixing out the Jackson there. Second Jackson almost done there for WTF. Got the Pereprava flanking in. Closing down the Germans with Thompson fire. Scott, number 2 there, almost done for WTF. Jackson charging through the centre. Going to go for the Panther 4 backed up by second Jackson. Panther 4's going to have to blitz to get out of there. Fast. And we got a hard time there revving up the engine though. Almost down. Need to quickly turn around the corner. Bit slow, bit slow, bit slow. Scheiße. King Tiger almost done. Virtually free gain. But not enough, not enough. And with that, Deimos' Panzerkampfwagen field just as hit Virtually free went up in flames. And unfortunately, the development there for Deimos, a great one for WTF. Of course, means the King Tiger, when it hits, is going to be further isolated in terms of support. And that's going to be a real problem there for Deimos when WTF is already in heavy control of the map. Following the fire from the pack howitzers. 15 and 16 kills. Orbital sneaking in. And there you go. Koenigsegg out here for Deimos. The Tiger 2. Over to the captain. The captain easily routed there by these elite German infantrymen. Sturm punishes the rear echelons in the centre. Need to support the rest of that 50 caliber before they're pressed, and that's too late. King Tiger rolling through the deep waters. And there you go, follows right here with the Pereprava moving in, backed up with the ramp, and of course the pack house in the Scott. King Tiger shoots its mighty 88mm gun there at the 50 caliber, misses first shot. Second shot misses well, but at least causes the Americans to retreat there. Jackson being fixed up. So we're doing that for a bit of extra fuel. Not sure what he intends to go for, but I'm guessing it's going to be another try and then something. Here to deal with WTF and his American antics. Need to get the King Tiger out of there. Shot fired there. Jack's moving in, rifle engaging. Situation here for Deimos is looking tense. Assault halted once more there as WTF maintains a strong front, backed up by ample artillery. Deimos is going to need to deliver a extreme surgical strike, or at least a very well placed butcher's blow to deal here with WTF. Anything slower and less precise than that, I think it's just going to get him shot to pieces here by WTF. And even then, it's going to encounter extreme resistance thanks to the P-47 rocket strafe. So Deimos is up for quite a challenge here versus WTF. It's not impossible. Again, it's going to require some absolutely amazing assault skills there for Deimos. I mean, he's going to have to, like, you know, study under Manstein, Guderian, and Walter Model to pull this one off. Probably also a bit of Rommel, the good bits. Seizing the point here in the south of the rifleman. Reaching the sky in the centre victory point. We've got the orbital moving in close to 20 feet. Artillery fire raining down there. And his assault pattern remains the exact same. But he hasn't even read Napoleon. Also, they need to get out of there soon. 50 cal handling their way at the advancing infantry. Kenneth creeping up, they're gaining some hits, and the Scot. Ooh, not bad, I guess. He's got another sector assault ready here. Again, the assault is happening at an incredibly slow pace, sluggish, and there you go, air support called in. But of course, WTF can respond very much easily and kind. There you go to the far end. We've got the anti-tank to the Jacks to find the King Tiger, almost half health. And there you go, responds with American air support of his own. The sky is alive with madness and rockets and other explosions. And possibly a bit of LSD. And there you go, rockets flying at the King Tiger as it desperately tries to get to safety. Around the southern victory point, but in the end, Deimos managed to make about as much progress as he did the last few times, despite again the heavy usage of heavy armor there and, you know, air support. He still, and in the end, didn't make much of a difference because he kept attacking the same way he's done for most of the match, with no real change to the tactics or the strategy. And again, that meant WTF, you know, still had it figured out how to just stop it. In this case, just needed a bit of P-47s, and the assault basically failed like most of the others. To an extent, it's just basically a case of tunnel vision there from Deimos. A bit of stubbornness and a refusal to consider attacking from other directions, which has certainly benefited WTF quite a bit. MU-34 there, veteran your feet, hosing down the Americans with a good bit of German lead. Trying to grab the Sun's fuel point again up north here. We've got a bit of defense. We've got the Orbital footing against the Captain. Captain there is definitely going to die before the mighty Orbital, and then we've got a BAR drop there. They need to grab with the Orbital Darden. 19 kills, they're not too shabby at all. Not too shabby at all for Deimos, but you know, I mean, the bigger picture of things, it's not enough. I mean, it's not going to break WTF's morale in his army. Sadly for Deimos. It's not like WTF's going to go, oh my god, they killed the captain. I might as well just turn myself into Hitler himself. Center victory point being seized by the paratroopers ace level. P-47 air support now available. Scotland engaging the Fultz Grenadiers. Showing away there for WTF. King Tiger in dire repairs, and so far none of the forthcoming. Oh, there you go. Got the stream partners moving in. But Oh, got another Shroud Punter's Quarters up there. That's a interesting choice, but that's probably where it should have been placed in the first place, but that's too late for that now. Pathfinder's bringing ahead, eventually free. 29 kills, really good one. There you go, the opposite got hosed down by the Paratroopers again. Another LSD-fueled assault there from WTF. Where's the Franks? Completely annihilating the opposite, and then Deimos was not paying attention. He got snot on. Scott hanging about there. Warbles on the way for Deimos. At least it wasn't the light machine gun they dropped, the LMD-34 that is, because that'd been a real nightmare for Deimos then. Troops suppressed. Fixing up the King Tiger. (102 versus 298). The situation for Deimos is deteriorating. The second Panzer Division seems to have lost most of its advantages, its edges, its teeth. It's now staggering along here beneath WTF's punishing blows. King Tiger sending out. There's 6 kills, close to veterans who won. Units being out inside the base there by the pack characters. We've got 20 and 25 kills. This highline just absolutely devastating they are. And there you go, GG, game over. A loss there for Deimos, a loss for Germany, a victory here for WTF. Overall nice defensive play there by WTF. Initially could have been more aggressive towards the west, but as he sort of went on, he became better at doing that. For Deimos, meanwhile, just kept attacking for again. Never really considered any bigger maneuvers for here. Just never tried to outmaneuver his opponent. I definitely feel like he should have gone for some light infantry guns at some point to provide smoke screen to at least back up with assaults, but again he just kept attacking for here, open ground, no real cover there, and I think that made it much easier for WTF to defend against him. Just made it much easier for him to be crashed. So there you go. Though, hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.